Hello everybody and welcome to the 6th round of Pinnacle Sim Racing. My name is Alan Kavgnar, alone this time for the Hungarian Grand Prix, and it seems to be we only have 12 drivers today, but it is going to be a good one for sure. Yes, definitely. I'm really excited for this one, because not only that, we have a couple new drivers joining us, just for a one-off appearance. We have Ishne coming on in. Ishne, wherever he's on the track. He's from the Red Bull, so he will be filling in for Danny OUK today. Looking back through the grid, there's John Dog in the Ferrari, EQ in the Haas. Now, this is something that I've been waiting to see for such a long time. I'm going to tell you, here's Steve in the Williams, right? And then, where is Carl's not on the track yet, but we have Carl back. This is going to be his first race back in this league, and we made him drive a Williams. Due to him pairing up in that car with Steve in the beginning of a Terrell. Just bring him back for one race. It'd be fantastic to see him back in the car, and that's what he's doing today. I was actually tempted to race, but we do have just enough people, so we will get that going quickly. Currently fitted. Looks like Seafreeze has joined us as well, so Seafreeze could definitely race with us today. That's going to be very interesting to have 13 drivers. Last time Seafreeze did a race with us was the Italian Grand Prix back in race number 4 of this season. Race number 3, my bad. Race number 3. So, definitely nice to see him back as well. I did invite him, just in case. Ishne says he lagged out. He does have a couple invites, so he should be able to join back. If not, Seafreeze joined, and he could invite him back as well. So, what I'm going to do is go to YouTube, get the link, and put it in the chat. Matt just told me my internet just effing died. Okay, you could hear that Facebook notifications. Yes. So, there's another one. I'm currently on my brother's phone using data. So, yep, looks like Ishne's back in, and Altix did leave the session, as you can see, still in the pit lane. But again, something to see here. Here is Carl in the Williams, and here is Steve in the Williams as well. These two were partnered back in HRL in seasons 1 and 2, driving the iconic Williams from that league. And, well, it's really nice to see them back as teammates for this one-off appearance. Definitely something to look at, but we have 8 minutes remaining, so I really need to get this link in the PSR chat and the TCR chat so people can see it, because, yeah, that's why I put out the link to these commentaries. But again, if you are a new viewer or anything, please like, subscribe, comment. I do commentaries for league races, and I've done so many this year, gained so much support, and that's why we're doing PSR today as well. So again, we're here for the 6th round, the Hungarian Grand Prix of season number 1 for PSR. And we have 8 minutes left to qualifying. It looks like Steve ran wide in that corner, as you can see the Renault of Cam pulling off to the side there. But we have 8 minutes remaining, and none of these drivers have set a time yet today. So let me put the link in the PSR chat, and we should be good to go. Okay, we are back, and yes, so it looks like More Than Amazing has set the time as I looked away from the screen, so with 7.5 minutes remaining, More Than Amazing sets the time. If we go down to leader, that is around half a second, so Telekill actually does set in a time, 2/10 off the pace of More Than Amazing. He stands second in the points, and looking through the rest of the grid, there's Steve, 2/10 again behind. It's only a couple hundredths off of Telekill. There's a spin in sector number 1, that is the Mercedes man of George, making a little mistake. The guy that sounds like Pastor Maldonado shares the same number, has spun. They're within a half a second of each other, so something to point out there. And the top 3 are divided by 2/10. So again, really close up towards the front, but we need to see a couple more people setting times. Altix and Ishne will not be setting times in qualifying. Not sure about Carl. He's been struggling to set a time, and Cam, our points leader, is on the track still trying to set one, but we also have Seafreeze racing with us today, so we're going to have 13 drivers for the Hungarian Grand Prix. So again, it's going to be a good race today. Last weekend we had a couple more. Danny OUK had to back out, so did Dougie, and so did Tom. If we had them, we would have had around, I don't know, maybe around 15, 16 drivers today. And again, it's really like just 12, 13 plus whatever. So yes, I'm definitely looking forward to this race. If you are too, you can tag me on Twitter. It's at Alan Cavi. or you can, comment down below. I did just get a notification that my internet is not sufficient for streaming. Yeah, I forgot to reset my internet. That could be it, but Steve sets the fastest time, a 1:32 flat. That does more than amazing by only just a tenth. So he'll barely edge that in there. But I look down through the top 6. They're all divided by 6/10, so it looks to be very close within the top 6. But down below, there's the other Cam, and there's Carl out of the session. He did set a time, 4 seconds off the pace, but he's missing a left front tire, and he's out of qualifying. So it looks like everybody has set a time that is still in this session, but we look down through the rest of the grid. It'll go from Steve, More Than Amazing, Telecal, Rob 2K, Iyakilu, Camden Luca, Cam, George, John Dog, and Carl rounding out the top 10. And more news articles to point out. John will be running part-time for the rest of the season. What else? Going down through the rest of the grid, Carl, I wouldn't say he's running part-time. He's doing a one-off appearance today and a couple more races down in the future. Seafreeze and Ishne doing one-off appearances due to the very low attendance today in the Hungarian Grand Prix. Again, we have around 12-13 people, so it's good. It's all good. Nice to see Seafreeze back with us. Same with Carl. Steve sticking with the league again. Nice to see some people returning, some old faces. If only we had Flair here, then really the tradition would be complete with HRL and PSR. So again, we are down to the final 4.5 minutes of this session. So again, if you have any questions, pop them down below in the comments, because I'm still looking at them. It looks like Steve pulls into the pits. So does More Than Amazing's crew, as you can see there. They're actually, I think they're either running really fast to retrieve him out on the track I'm looking at. You can see the Mercedes man of George pulling in. A couple other drivers to go through. There's Cam into the pits. Cannot do anything best with his time. That is 1.3 seconds off the pace. Going through the rest of the grid, there's Camden Luca, more than a half a second off, and really, he's still going for an outlap, so he's out there for his final run today. Same with Altix was actually able to join us and race, so that is something good to note there. He was able to join the session back, and now he has 3.5 minutes to set a time on the leaderboard, so that'll be something to point out there. So Steve does have pole position by 1/10 over More Than Amazing, and with 3.5 minutes remaining, the fight for pole position can go between many different drivers today, if it stays this close. Because I'm really excited, because going through the rest of the grid, I know Telecal and Cam have won races this season, but other than that, Matty D is not here, Flair isn't here. Going through the rest of the grid, they're not here, meaning we may see a new winner today. But looking at Telecal's starting in the second row, if they stay where they are right now. Cam will be starting down in the 4th row, if I'm correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, in the beginning of the 4th row. So really, they're going to need a lot of help in today's Grand Prix. Even if it's in rainy conditions, that's not going to be the best for them, knowing that the pace is off of the leader of Steve. And what a moment it would be for Steve to win this thing. And not only that, but knowing that he has a teammate for this race, and it is Carl, a long-time veteran and teammate of this league. He's back for a couple of races this season with Williams, and if you did not know, FIFA did leave the league, and he was driving for Williams, so that left his seat open. I contacted Carl and told him, you have to drive the Williams, because it would be a fantastic moment to have these guys back as teammates. Really something special to see again. I keep talking about it too much, but I love seeing these two as teammates. It works so well together. But Steve and Carl doing a fantastic job in qualifying. More Than Amazing back in second place. He's only 10th off, like we said, of Steve Cal. Looks like Toro Rosso beat the better end of the sister brother team of Red Bull. Now the actual Red Bull team back in 3rd place. There's Rob 2K in 4th. 5th is Iyakilu. And 6th is Camden Luca in the Sauber. 7th, is Cam. He's off the circuit. I think he's just pulling off to the side, letting the Toro Rosso by. Yep, that's exactly what it is. So that leaves that going out to the rest of the grid. Believe it or not, George all the way down in 8th. He's 2.5 seconds off of Steve, believe it or not. And remember, these two both used to drive for Williams back in HRL. So again, they've really come from the same environment. Both live in Europe, so really they know each other really well. So as Camden Luca goes for the fastest time, that's less than 1/10 of a second off of Steve's time. That's definitely something to be proud of for Cam, beating the likes of Steve and More Than Amazing and Telecal and the other Cam and George and a lot of big names to beat and a fast driver like Ikilu. A lot of drivers to beat. Really, really impressing us today. I'm impressed by that time already. But again, we have 1 minute remaining in qualifying. So he is going to be the first driver to knock down someone's time, and he has 1 lap left to do an even better one if someone tops his time. Going to the final corner, here's More Than Amazing. Will he be able to grab pole position across the line? He does improve. That is 2/10 exactly against Camden Lucas' time. Going through with Telecal. And I'm going through with everyone else. Cam has fallen down to 7th, 8th is George, 9th is John Dog, 10th is Altix. He is almost 4 seconds off the pace. Driving the number 48 for Renault. Going through the rest of the grid. So Camden Luca will ride on board. He could barely just make it. I don't think he'll have enough time to go for 1 more lap. Yeah, he definitely won't. So he'll be coming to the end here. As I will pull up the standings. As time is now over. Steve has retired from the session. Let's see what Camden Luca is going to do if he can top his own personal best. Off the final corner, Camden Luca crossed the line. He finishes up, and Camden Luca does improve his time by 1/1000th of a second. You can see up here, Camden Luca says 1:31.615. Down below, it said his fastest time was a 1:31.614. So he only improved by 1/1000th of a second. Telecal's Donnie's improved to 3rd place. And he's beat, looks like More Than Amazing by 900ths of a second. So a final lap for More Than Amazing. Runs wide in the final sector through the final couple series of corners. More Than Amazing, he's standing in the top 4 so far. But as he rounds through the final corners, crossing the line should be More Than Amazing. He jumps it up to pole position, beats Camden Luca by 2/10. So a fantastic time to have on the board. Now it's all down to Rob 2K, the last one to do so, to be still out on track. We'll ride on board with Rob 2K, hitting the apex perfectly. The exit, not so much. Seems like he's just coasting. Going down all the way through 3rd gear. He hits the apex again off the exit. Oh, and he's run out of fuel. Cross the line. Rob 2K is not going to improve. He'll still be in 6th position as he ran out of fuel across the line. I should have saved a little bit more fuel on a slower lap, for sure. But that will do his chances of getting pole position, so here it is. Going through the grid, More Than Amazing has a 2/10 difference between him and Camden Luca. 3rd place in the 2nd row is Steve and Telecal. 6/10 and 7/10 down into the 3rd row of Ikilu and Rob 2K around the 1 second margin. The next row is Cam came on, and George. Next row is Altix and John. Final row is row number 6 of John Dog, Carl, and Ishne. We also have Seafreeze with us for 13, and this was row 6. This is row 5. I'm not good at counting, so don't be mad at me. I'm gonna go through the points very quickly. Cam Kimam has a good advantage over the rest of the field by 21 points. It is 73 against 52 of Cam and Telecal. So Telecal really needs Cam to have a bad day today, and for Telecal to win, just to have a couple points margin over him. 3rd place is George. 4th is Matty D, as Matty D did win Monaco and Austria, if you remembered, won back-to-back races. But yes, we're going for our 5th different winner this season. We already have 4 different winners this season. It's not back-to-back anymore. But going through the rest of the grid, we have Matty D, Steve, Dougie, Rob 2K, MTA, Flair, John Dog, Jackson, Seafreeze, Daniel UK, Camden Luca, EKLU, ESR, James, Motor City, FIFA, Altix, Truth, Norway, Tom, and Washi. That rounds up the point standings. It's definitely going to be a good one as we approach the 6th round of the first season here of Pinnacle Sim Racing, the Hungarian Grand Prix. The 5 red lights will fill. And here we go, lights out and away we go. More Than Amazing will lead us to the green. Cameron Luca gets off to a fantastic start against More Than Amazing, and More Than Amazing is dropping back like a rock. So is a Ferrari in behind, but down into turn 1. There, I saw 4 wide and around the outside, a huge stack up. The 2 Renaults split the Haas through, a little like a sandwich, but down, More Than Amazing, trying to get back at Cameron Luca as Steve was able to take the lead over Camden Luca. Now More Than Amazing gets by. As you can see, there's a spin behind with the Renault. Not sure who that was. I think that is going to be Cam, our points leader. Our points leader has spun with Rob 2K. And going through the rest of the grid, here is Seafreeze riding the Force India. I was going to tell him to ride the Force India anyway because he already drove that car this season. But looking through the rest of the grid, it looks like a 5-second stop and go for corner cutting against George. I'm not sure if that was... I was literally just spectating him. I'm not sure if that... I should consider that a penalty. I mean, I was spectating him, and he did not cut any corners. But he has gotten a 5-second stop and go. I can't really remove it. Oh, hold on a second. Whoa, what fantastic save for George right here. As you can see the back, there's Cam running off in the distance. So let's look at who's gained the most position so far in this Grand Prix. A fantastic start for Ishine. He's already in a 7th place without setting a time. He has gained 5 positions driving the Red Bull. Going through the rest of the grid, gaining 3 spots is Altix. He's running in 6th place. Fastest lap for Steve. He leads after lap number 1. Going defensive is Camden Luca against EQ. Weaving down the straight, however. Again, I sort of wish I did have a commentator alongside me. A 5-second stop and go for Rob 2K, speeding in the pit lane. So, a little ironic for him. So, I want to do this by interval, and then, detail, there you go. Put a pass for 3rd place. It looks like Camden Luca forced himself into a mistake. So, right now, the Haas driver just got by the Sauber. We are 2 laps into this Hungarian Grand Prix. So he'll exit the pits. So right now, Steve leads the way down. The 2 Brits are about to put on a good show for the fans in Hungary. So 2 laps into this thing. And if we're going to say any predictions, it's a nice sunny day. So I do not think we'll see any rain. You can't even see a cloud in the sky if you take an onboard view with the Toro Rosso. More Than Amazing. He runs it very wide, however. So he loses a lot of time back to around almost more than a full second. You can see there's EQ pressuring him behind. It looks like the pack within the top, I would say top, is that Ishine back there? No, it's not. That's Telecal. The top 5 are pretty close to each other. And there's Altix and Ishine a little off the distance, but Steve goes with the fastest lap time in the Hungarian Grand Prix. 3 laps. Looks like peeking behind here. You can see the Haas, or no, yeah, the Sauber and the Red Bull were peeking off in the distance and behind. So it looks to be Camden Luca. I mean, he got off to a good start, but after that, into turn 1, every turn he goes through, he's slower than everybody else. And again, something not to be proud of, honestly. It looks like Seafreeze is in the pits as well. Let's see what tire he's going to be putting on. They'll be putting on the white wall tires and fixing that front wing. So the number 22 is in, and they defy physics as they put a front wing over a front wing. And it looks like Rob 2K will get by Seafreeze in the pits. And it looks like More Than Amazing has really pulled in the time over Steve within the last lap or so. So nice to see that this battle is about to be brewing up again. So looking through the rest of the grid, here's Camden Luca, again falling into the wrath of Telecal. Altix is back in 6th. He's leading the number 1 driver of Renault so far. 7th is Ishine, doing a good job for Red Bull and Constructors. Here's George in 8th. 9th is Cam, 10th is Carl. And again, Telecal really needs to work through the field if he really wants to get ahead of Cam in the standings, but really, that's not going to help him. It is, I look back at the points, if I'm correct, 73 minus 52 has to be 21, if I'm correct, so 73 minus 52, that again, 21 points. So right now, George for the fastest lap time, and again, if I do my math correctly, Telecal is going to get 10 points, Cam's only going to get 2, so that's a difference of 8 points, so that's going to bring it down to, if I am correct, 21 minus 8 will lead to 13, so it'll be a difference of 13 points of where they finished today. Again, we're only 4 laps in, so everything can and will change. More Than Amazing, a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So, again, if he wanted to get by Steve, but now that he has his penalty, not going to do it as fast as lap for Rob 2K. So, 4 laps in, it looks to be a lot of these drivers finding the pace and getting grips to this racetrack. But as you can see, everyone's still keeping a good gap between themselves. I look within these 3 drivers, Camden Luca, Telecal, and Altix. They have a good gap with each other. I mean, Telecal does miss the exit there. As you can see, I'm sort of surprised nobody's really pulled away from each other. I mean, besides a Haas driver of EQ, I mean, he's done a good job today, running inside the podium. He got pole earlier on the season in Italy, and now He's doing a good job at holding that podium position. We are 5 laps into this Grand Prix, and Steve is leading by a full second. And again, something that the fans really want to see. Again, last time he won an HRL race, if I'm correct. Let me check that stat, by the way. Before I say anything else out of my mouth, I'm going to have to check that stat. But yeah, last time Steve won a league race and won an HRL or PSR, it was a long, long time ago. Let's just say the dinosaurs were still going on in this world. That's how long it was ago, but he is leading right now. He has a lot of bricks on his shoulder to overcome in this Grand Prix. And 5 laps into this thing, the fans are really excited to see this racing. I mean, Camden Luca, a good gap between him and Telecal. It's only around half a second, I mean. But again, these drivers are still really close to each other. Fantastic background, the scenery of the Hungarian countryside. We look through the rest of the grid. Here's Altix, and now here is Ishne back in 7th. We'll take an on-board view with Ishne. Again, like we said, making a one-off appearance in, seems to be PSR. He may be back for another time, but he did bring Seafreeze with us today. That's why we have 13 drivers. But yes, the last time Steve was able to win a Grand Prix was the Season 2 HRL Brazilian Grand Prix. And if you remember that one, he was basically gifted that victory after Flair's disconnection. And then Italy, I wouldn't say he was gifted a victory at Italy as well. That was a chaotic Grand Prix where he got lucky, he was able to win. And then look back in Season 2 for Monaco. Again, he was a class act there. Same with Baku, class act there. Got 4 wins in Season 2, but again, a position change between Telecal and Camden Luca. So looks to be right on board with Camden Luca. He's fallen down into the 5th place. So now, like we said earlier, the difference between Telecal and Cam right now was 21 points. Now that we have 12, it'll be 12 minus 2. So then that'll just lead down to 11 points. And now it's a 3-second penalty for Telecal for multiple warnings. That must have been for exceeding the track limits there. If it was anything else, I have no clue what it would be. But Telecal still leading the way in 4th place. Camden Luca now falling off the pace and not getting good grips to the racetrack, but looks to be Steve and More Than Amazing. Their gap is splitting apart. That's because Steve has really picked up the pace, and he is putting on a good charge against the rest of the field. He is leading the Hungarian Grand Prix and has led every single lap today, despite not getting pole position. So again, these drivers really, really close to each other. So it looks to be the Red Bull ran very wide there. Not sure what he was thinking. Oh, there's a incident. That's Altix. He's spun, and he'll let his teammate through with that incident. So that is good for Renault. They're back into the points they need to be in. So again, and now it'll be back to a difference of 13 points due to the spin of Altix. Again, I love that helmet. I'm going to point that out. I'm not sure if I can get a better view of that. There, that's a fan. I love that helmet. It looks pretty cool. I just thought of that on the top of my head. That helmet looks pretty cool. But going through the rest of the grid, Steve is still leading by almost 2 seconds. Down to the rest of the grid, there's Ikilu, Telecal, Camden Luca, Ishne, George, Cam, Altix, Carl, John Dog, Rob 2K, and Seafreeze. I'm surprised that Seafreeze running back in 13th. Surprised he's running back here. This is a little prep for tonight's... Oh, whoa. A lot of wheel spin for Seafreeze. Luckily, he was able to catch it there. But we are 7 laps through into this Hungarian Grand Prix. And again, the action has really been there. The start, there's a spin with the Renault of Cam, and he's improved to 8th place. But we go through the grid, taking, again, an onboard shot with Ikilu. You can see now Telecal trying to work up the gap between them. And again, if I'm correct, if Ikilu does get, or not Ikilu, if Telecal gets by Ikilu, the gap between them in points should be 10 points, if I'm correct. Should be 10 points. But again, a bad day for Cam. That is definitely going to hurt him as Altix is in the pits. Let's see what tires he's going to put on. He's going to take a drive-through into the pits. And let's see what tires he'll be putting on. Altix will be putting on the Red Bull tires and be fitting his front wing. And there you go. They slide that front wing back on. Again, defying physics. Looks like Seafreeze may have a little challenge here. If not, probably not. But it looks to be John Dog and Carl having a battle of their own at the moment. And yeah, that's sort of good to see. I mean, these two, again, not running full-time in the league, and it's nice to see these two battling. Again, a lot going on between the two, and again, a lot of battles. Carl just paused it there for a second. But again, Carl back in the league. He's running in 9th, actually. He's doing a good job on getting those 2 solid points. Remember, Cam did get by, so now he's trying to chase down George as well. So, George up ahead. And Cam is reeling him in, however, ever so slightly, as George is going to come into the pits. Let's see what tires he's going to be putting on. And as he comes into the pits, slows it down. No penalty there. He'll have the first pit stall. And he'll be putting on... Oh, nope. 5-second stop and go. Remember, that's unfair stop and go. He got awarded on the very first lap. They'll be fixing that front wing also. And he is away. As you can see, a Ferrari in behind him. That is John Dog. Let's see what the prancing horses will be putting on. They'll be fixing that front wing of the number 99 Ferrari. And he should be good to go. Yep, he is away. So Steve has increased his gap to 2.5 seconds. Back in 3rd place is EQ. He's reeling in more than amazing ever so slightly. And you can see behind him Telecal doing the exact same with him. Where did Cam go? Yeah, I forgot, yeah. Cam did get by. Hold on, I'm confused with these positions. Cam was... He had someone in front of him. Yeah, that's Ishnape. I thought that was Telecal in front of him for a second. But yeah, Telecal really needs to get by EQ. Now could be his chance. And now it's his time to attack. Into the pits goes more than amazing. Down to the inside, going defensive. Is he EQ? Back to the outside is Telecal. Have just enough room to go around the outside. And at turn number 1, can he hang it? They may bang wheels. Off the track goes Telecal, and he's going to have to fight back for that one. And again, EQ putting up a fight. The Spanishman against the Finn, both fighting very hard for position. And again, these two nailed the nail at it. As Telecal ran wide there, he thought he had the position, but he realized he had to fight for it against with EQ. Again, a very defensive and aggressive driver in EQ is himself. So again, the number 99 we have here of Telecal, trying to hang on against EQ. So going through the S's they go. The number 88, if I'm correct, Carl's number 88 as well. If I'm correct, I want to make sure I'm correct. I think he's number 88 as well. I can't tell if he's number 88. I'd like to know. Yellow in Sector 3. Hold on a second. Not sure who that is. Appears again. I think it's lagging of Carl. And I think Rob 2K is going to have a word with him after he sees the lag. Or that could have been Seafreeze letting by a lapped car. See, he's 22 seconds off the pace of a car in front of him. But you can see that has to be a car that lapped him recently. That has to be the Williams of Steve leading this thing. George, another 3-second penalty, believe it or not. He's really pushing through this field. And really, he's pushing through the limits as well. As Rob 2K gets by the Williams and Carl pushes him wide. Gets the position. So yes, like I said, number 88 is Carl as well. So again, if you guys are new viewers or just tuning in now, my name is Alan Kaupner. I'm a League Racer commentator, and I do commentaries every single weekend to fill in some free time to help my future. And now George goes the fastest time as he got penalties on that lap as well. But yeah, like I was saying, I am a League Racing commentator, so please like, subscribe, comment down below for more commentary footage on this channel. And again, we are 11 laps through this Grand Prix. We are not even a third into this Grand Prix. It's scary to think that. Because I wouldn't say I'm starting to get bored. Just no one battling each other. I mean, the gaps are, again, very close within each other now. Seafreeze, a 3-second penalty awarded to him. So going through the rest of the grid, EQ trying to hang on against Telecal. Let's see if this battle will be present again. Down the straight, DRS available for Telecal. Let's see if he's going to go defensive. That gap is a little too much to work with. So Telecal is going to have to hang back as we approach lap 12. He's going to try and dive it down to the inside. Puts a tire, and a bump and run is present for Telecal. as he dives on through. Cannot believe what I've just seen. He did that absolutely perfectly. Just enough where he could get no damage. That is the way to move someone. Wow, I am impressed. I shouldn't be impressed, but I'm impressed that they did not collide. As Telecal got a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings again. I am a little shocked that Telecal was able to do that. That's like NASCAR version right there. He's able to put the bumper, or not the bumper, yeah, he's able to put the bumper on the back end of Ikilu, and he just tapped the wheel just enough where Ikilu could lose the back end, and he can move him out of the way so Telecal could pick up the position. So now the faster car is on through, and now looks like Telecal is going to be the man to chase down Steve for the race lead. He's not too much ahead, by the way, if you were curious. But do you think Ikilu could repay the challenge there, or repay the consequence after doing that? We're not even halfway through this Grand Prix, and it looks to be that the Haas driver is into the pits. I think he realized that there's either some damage with his car, or he realizes that he's falling off the edge, and he needs to do something about it. So he's into the pits. Let's see what tire he'll be putting on. Remember, he's down at the end of the pit exits, or the pit straight. Looks like this pass between George and Carl as well. It looks like Ikilu will put on the Red Bull tires, the super soft tires. Those are the tires he'll be trying to go on through the rest of I'm not sure the rest of this Grand Prix. But he'll be exiting the pits now is Ikilu, the number 88, and he'll be ready to go and rolling. So more than amazing. Picks up P number 6. I haven't really seen him up in the front after he pitted very early. There must have been a mistake. But right now P6 is him. Good battle between Ishnay and Cam. Things could be getting a little feisty within the next couple of laps. 13 laps through, we're not even halfway, and it looks like the battles haven't even started yet, and the action will be about to happen. Between Ishnay and Cam, take an onboard view with the Renault driver of Cam. He'll be, there we go. He'll be chasing down Ishnay. Not the best exit, as I think Ishnay got a better one. But as he tunes it on down, Cam is chasing 12 points with the 10 he has right now. And remember, you have to keep in mind that, again, you have to keep in mind that some of these drivers haven't even pitted yet. So really, Cam isn't going to be in 5th place in, 5-10 laps. It's not going to be like that. So down the straight, he does have DRS, as you can see by the green buttons on his wheel. But he really reels in Ishnay. As it looks like there is Seafreeze as well. Not sure if there's going to be a little team orders there, as they are teammates in TSR. And, just lets both of them by, so that is good news there. I actually think he held up Ishnay a little bit there. But just enough where it wouldn't really affect either one of them. So 14 laps into this Grand Prix, and Cam trying to chase down Ishnay. And Seafreeze is getting a good front row view of this battle. So hopping through the chicanes there. And again, I kind of wish we had Soup with us today, but he's not here, so I'm doing this by myself. As Cam got a terrible exit off that corner, losing a lot of time already. That's almost down to a full second. But again, if you guys have any questions, you can pop them down below. If you want to know my Twitter, it is at AlanCavy. If you want to know my Instagram, it's at AlanCavy. And if you want to know my Snapchat, because I recently just got a Snapchat, again, it's at AlanCavy. It looks like Steve is into the pits, our race leader. He'll be putting on these super soft tires. And away he goes, and Telecal will be picking up the race lead for the first time today. But again, contact information, the YouTube channel is the one that you're watching the stream off of right now. Looks like Steve is exiting the pits. Should be 6th place, I mean. Right in front of Ikilu. But again, contact information, it is all at AlanCavy for Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. If you want to add me on that, go right ahead. But again, we are heading through the halfway point of this Grand Prix. 15 laps, down to 35. We're almost there, however. So again, if you have any thoughts on driver of the day or anything else, comment them down below, or again, do a Twitter of at AlanCavy, or Snapchat, or anything like that. You can tell me driver of the day, because we'd love to know your thoughts there. Seafreeze letting by both drivers. Seafreeze, if you want to know, we're going to do to leader. He is a lap down, not 2 laps, just 1 lap. Honestly thought it would be 2 laps by now, but it's only been 1 lap, and he's been holding himself together. So again, still riding on board with the EQLU, trying to chase down Steve. It's something that I'm going to point out, that gap between the two has really diminished. And that is not anything good for Steve. That's what happens when you stay out there for so much longer. And again, when you stay out there for so much longer, it really doesn't help you want to do the undercut, really. Again, for someone else who wants to do the undercut, it's really going to help them an advantage to someone who does the overcut. And right now, Steve is pulling away, however. But more than amazing was it has been able to get by, and right now he's trying to get by Cam and Ishnay. So we will ride with this battle. Again, I'm a terrible cameraman, so I am so sorry. But if these drivers will not be able to get by Cam and Ishnay, that means Steve will be gaining on More Than Amazing, and then the battle for the lead should be up again between the two. But it looks like Cam holding off More Than Amazing, but for how much longer? A 3-second penalty for Altix as well. So going through the rest of the grid. He is hanging on. He's going to try and dive it down to the inside. There goes More Than Amazing. However, he's going to be on the outside as Cam retrieves the inside. So there you go. Cam hanging on as the desperate of More Than Amazing tried to lunge it there, and Cam is finally going to decide to back off to the track, and there goes Steve trying to lunge it down to the inside. That's going to allow EQLU to try and battle with these three. So down the straight they go, a position change between Carl and John, but down the straight, and looks to be they're going to go defensive in the hairpin. So More Than Amazing trying to hang off of Steve. So again, blocking the inside, that'll lose some momentum there. But it looks like Cameron Luca's into the lead, as Steve does get a 3-second penalty. Trying to pass More Than Amazing. Looks to be the number 84, taking an onboard shot of, looks to be Steve, trying to chase him down. So, More Than Amazing hanging on against Steve, and he's holding up EQLU, believe it or not. And if these two engage in a battle, that will allow More Than Amazing to pull away with this thing, and he'll be able to pull past Ishnay as well, if you think about it. So this 4-car pack, all starting to bunch together. Will there be any team orders with the Red Bull team? Or will there be any team orders with 2 separate teams of Williams and Haas to work together, as it looks like Steve is going to lunge it down to the inside again, but this time will it work? Yes it does, as More Than Amazing runs off the circuit. Now Steve picks up the position, and now he's going to be chasing down Ishnay down the straight. Can he pick up 2 positions in a sector? There goes More Than Amazing down the inside. They're going to sandwich him as both of them run wide, and Ishnay's going to hang on. We just saw 3 wide, and now it's Ishnay versus Steve for second place. As now Steve's going to have the inside, he's going to easily pick up second place. And man, I just ran out of breath there. Steve barely picked up the position. Everything happening at once. I really need a bottle of water. I am out of breath. Not only because I was talking so fast, as More Than Amazing picks up a position. I was outside doing yard work for 4 hours, and I came in sweating. So it did not help, honestly, at all. But Altix in the Renault. He'll be putting on the yellow wall tires to finish the Grand Prix on these tires. We have around 17 laps to go, I believe. But man, I think that was one of the biggest battles I've seen, again, against 4 different cars. The winner of that was Steve. And now he is in second place. He got through a couple cars. The faster car got through ahead of all of them. And now Camden Luca is the only one ahead of him. He has not pitted yet today. So it looks like he's going for the 1 stop. I cannot imagine if he's able to pull that off. Has he pitted yet? No, he has not. Imagine that. There's Ishnay into the pits. He may... Hold on a second. A battle between More Than Amazing and EQLU. The 2 cars side by side off turn number 1. Down the straight they go. They wheel bang down to the inside. There goes More Than Amazing. He's going to lunge it to the outside. And there goes E-Killer. He's going to go back to the inside. Around the outside, they make contact again. The Finn's going to have to hang on. And around the outside he goes. And More Than Amazing. They'll still be wheel to wheel. Will any of them back off? More Than Amazing does so. Must have gotten some sort of penalty there, as warnings do add up as he lost it back end, and end plate is lost off More Than Amazing. Words will be exchanged after this Grand Prix. A tap is made of frustrations of More Than Amazing. He punted him off in the chicane due to the frustration, and now it looks like Telecal's got to get on by. He is second in points, and he's yelling at the sister team of the Toro Rosso, move out of the way, I am faster than you, you have damage, I do not, let me by. That is what he's screaming right now, and I am running out of breath to hang on to commentate this thing, and this Grand Prix is getting intense. Will the drama end? Ayukilu runs wide, can we see these two battle again? Steve goes to the fastest lap against me. Can we see Telecal and More Than Amazing battling? We'll go to a broadcast shot. Down the straight, the Toro Rosso and the Red Bull. The Telecal and More Than Amazing. Can he dive it down to the inside? I guess not. So I'm going to have to take a breath there. That was all in one. Fantastic racing there. I'm so sorry. I do not have a bottle of water. I'm trying to get myself a breath there. But I will shut up for a minute. Turn up the volume. We'll take an onboard view with Telecal, and again, we'll turn up the volume if you want to listen to that V6 engine sound. And I'm gonna go for a second. I need a drink of water. You guys can take in some thoughts of this Grand Prix. I need to take in mine as I take a drink of water. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I am back, and it looks like the battle is about to brew up again between More Than Amazing and the Red Bull of Telecal. Going defensive is More Than Amazing. Back to the outside. He's got to try and lunge it down to the inside. He runs out of room, and More Than Amazing is able to hang on again. The battles between these drivers do not impress me even more. Fantastic racing we're seeing here on the Hungaroring. Fastest lap for Ishnay as he sets it on lap number 21. Hitting the apex is Telecal. More Than Amazing ran wide there, and the pressure's on the Toro Rosso again. These two are impressing with their battles. Again, a penalty there for running wide. That we just saw it there. So again, these two are putting on a fantastic show. And I'm not sure how much longer More Than Amazing will be able to hang on. I'm not sure if he'll be able to hang on. So going through the corners, take an onboard shot again with the Red Bull of Telecal, locking up, however, hitting the apex. These two drivers are the only one within a second of each other. Hold on a second. Into the pit lane is Cameron Luca. What tires will he be putting on? So he dives down into the pits. He'll be going for the one stop, most likely the super soft tires. Let's see the tires he'll be putting on for the Hungarian Grand Prix. His first stop of this race. He'll give up the lead to Steve. And into the pits, he'll be putting on the super soft tires to finish this Grand Prix out on. Looks like Telecal will be trying to switch back. Now he'll get the inside line. This time he'll be able to get it. Just enough room. Telecal squeezes on through. Takes a position back again. More Than Amazing. Get it back. He's got to have the nose in there. But just enough. Telecal on the inside advantage. This time by it. He gets the position. So Telecal will be able to hang on. Finally, he gets just enough breathing space. And now Telecal is into the third position against More Than Amazing. So that has been the battle of the season. And I will quote my word. The battle of the season. By far the battle of the season. Luckily, I have some footage of that one. But that was intense stuff, and I have to give props to both men for not crashing or making a collision of More Than Amazing and Telecal. And you do have to keep in mind, More Than Amazing does have some end plate damage as well, and he was battling all of that and holding off Telecal. But finally, Telecal gets by. Cam is making a recovery drive back into 6th place. Did get by George, however. Forgot to say that. John is passing Altix as he exits the pits. It looks like there's a mistake from Carl. We're just pulling off to the side. Is it? Yes. Just holding up George there. George is on the soft tires, but on my screen is on the super soft. We will ignore that one. Now it looks like Ikalu is chasing down Steve. The gap is almost 5 seconds, but that gap is maintaining itself. Back in 3rd is Telecal. 4th is More Than Amazing. 5th is Camden Lucas. 6th is Cam. 7th is George. 8th is Ishne. 9th is Rob. 10th is John. 11th Altix. 12th Carl. 13th Seafreeze. That rounds up the grid. And I'm going to say this now because I did not realize this. We do not have a single retirement in this Grand Prix. Something to be very proud of today. I am definitely proud of these drivers for not crashing out. Because I thought they would have. I'll be honest. I thought they would have by now. But they've done a fantastic job today and this season as well. Again, I'm really proud of him. George, another 3-second penalty, something he does not want to see. Looks like the Ferrari's into the pit lane. And again, every race we see, we say, this is the best race of the season. This is the best race of the season. This is the best race of the season. Today, I think this may be the best race of the season. I'll tell you why. So many bad, I wouldn't say the best race, but one of the best races of the season. Fantastic racing we see in PSR every single week, week in, week out. Ikalu's in the pits as well, forgot to mention that. He's in the pits, so is John Dog. But they'll be switching Super Softs to Super Softs to finish this Grand Prix out. Another 3-second penalty, but this time to Seafreeze. He's down in 13th. Like I was saying, we keep on saying the racing here is fantastic. We say that because these drivers know how to race each other. The racing between them is absolutely flawless. And again, something to really highlight and something really, really impressive at this Grand Prix today. I, again, really satisfied with the results. And again, another reason why this Grand Prix is going to be fantastic. Imagine it, the scenes of Steve winning again. The last time Steve won was the Season 2 HRL Brazilian Grand Prix. And it looks like George got by. George is ghosting. Not sure if he disconnected. I think he disconnected. I never saw George leave the session. It's either that or he got disqualified. Ikalu, there's some sort of problem. I think it was like an illegal overtake. 5-second stop and go for speeding in the pit lane. Steve is in the pits. So he is away. That penalty, remember, it can change everything. If, he's close to the race lead, if he's close to second place or the race leader, depends what position he's running in. But Telecal inherits the race lead with 11 laps to go today. This Grand Prix has been really long, to be completely honest. Didn't think it'd be that long. But again, a good battles all the way around the track. So, again, I'm not surprised that it's this long. I'm happy it is. But looking back, there's Telecal leading the field. He is second in points. And this position that he's running in, he really needs to finish there. And remember, if Cam finishes outside, if I'm trying to think of the points situation right now. If he finishes outside the top 7, he will lose a points lead. Because if Telecal wins, he'll get a tiebreaker with Cam. But remember, Telecal has 2 wins, Cam has 1. So he'll win the I was about to say the Telecaler. The tiebreaker. He'll win the tiebreaker. So with 10 laps to go, he has that advantage to keep in mind. I think he'll finish the Grand Prix out on these tires as well, as he gets a penalty there. I don't know what for. I think it was for running wide there. But Telecal still leading. Looks like Cam is into the pits as well. So it looks like everything is going right for Telecal. Cam needed to make one more pit stop. As maybe can Rob get by? No, he won't. So it looks like Cam is going to be running in 7th. So it looks like Cam will be in the points lead at the end of this thing. Not by much, however. So that a lap 1 start really paid dividends to Telecal. It's really going to help him in the end of this Grand Prix. So if Telecal is able to stay out till the end, it's going to be fantastic. Everyone has pitted so far today. Looks like Seafreeze has done 2 stops. Carl with 1. 3 stops for Altix. 2 stops for George, John, Rob 2K, Cam, and Ekilu. 1 stop for Ishne, 2 stops for Steve, and 1 stops for the top 3 of Telecal, More Than Amazing, and Camden Luca. I have no clue who's going to win this Grand Prix. I really do not. Let's take the position change. Looks like everybody has dropped off the position they're in except Ishne and Telecal. Everybody else is falling off the pace. It looks like Steve sets the fastest lap time in today's Hungarian Grand Prix. Yeah, driver of the day so far, I'd have to say, is Ishne. Working up through the grid. Remember, Ishne has no setup at all. He said, yeah, Ishne said that, I remember, he did not even set a lap in qualifying. I mean, yeah, he could have chosen a setup, but he did not have a Hungarian Grand Prix setup. But again, I'm going to have to highlight, he started in the rear. He was able to work his way up to 5th place. And again, avoid all the incidents. So again, I'd have to give him driver of the day so far. Things do change, by the way. And again, I am really looking forward to next weekend's Grand Prix. Speaking about next weekend should be the Azerbaijan Grand Prix in Baku. It's going to be a good one. For round number 7, we head to the halfway mark in this championship. Hold on, there you go. So, a question to the audience. When do you think Telecal will be pitting? Because time is ticking down, and he is leading this thing. More Than Amazing is into the pits as well. I know Camden Luca will be good to finish this race on the time. Imagine if Camden Luca wins. The scenes that it would be. Remember, Camden Luca has no penalties. Steve should have around 6 seconds of penalties. So imagine if Telecal or Camden Luca was able to win today. The scenes of that would be amazing. Remember, Steve already has a runner-up finish this season. So again, he has experience of finishing runner-up. That was the Italian Grand Prix, by the way. He was not able to beat, He's not able to beat Cam. Cam got lucky with that win. I'll say that much right now, in my opinion. But yeah, he was able to hang on, take the victory. But again, we're here for the 6th round of Pinnacle Sim Racing. And it's tuning on in to the finish of this thing. Telecal leads by 7 seconds. However, look, I'm looking at the rest of the field. Ishne reeling in on Ikilu, 30-second penalty. 4 looks to be More Than Amazing. Yellow in Sector 2, hold on. All that is a Williams of Carl. He has spun. So going through the rest of the grid, looks like Ishne's into the pits. So that really ends his, I wouldn't say ends his day, but definitely for his final pit stop, he'll be putting on the super soft tires. More Than Amazing will come on through. Let's see about Cam, the 2 Renaults working together. 1 a lap down, 1 isn't, but Cam will get by as well. While Telecal leads the field on those medium tires. Very old, by the way. But again, sorry if it's silent. I was looking at something. I was looking at the point scenario. Again, it is a 21-point difference between Telecal and Cam. Again, if you do the points now, they finish. Telecal will get 25. Cam will get 8. Again, if I do my math correctly, it's already a 21-point difference between the two. So 21 right there is 3 seconds of Rob 2K. Like I was saying, 25 minus 8, that'll be 17. So that's basically saying 21 minus 17. The points gap would be 4 points after this race. Imagine that. I mean, we know Telecal's a little faster. I wouldn't say a lot, but he's a little faster. So the points difference is going to be, I wouldn't say, a lot smaller after this Grand Prix. Even if, you know, Cam passed a couple cars after this thing, Cam is really definitely pushing through this field, but I don't know how much longer he has to really push the field. Because remember, he has to look at his tires, he has to look at his fuel. He also has to keep in mind, if he pushes too hard, he has to pit again. And again, that's something not good to have in mind. So, we head to the final stages in this Grand Prix. The final 6 laps of the Hungarian Grand Prix. And again, it is starting to heat up. Who will win this race? Going to be the veteran. He hasn't won in a year in league racing. Steve, will he be able to come back? Or can it be Camden Luca, the underdog? Or can it be Telecal, defying all odds, just putting himself in his car in a place that it should not be winning this Grand Prix? He has a good gap over the rest of the field, so it is very, very likely to happen. However, Camden Luca getting chased in by Steve. Remember, Steve has a bunch of penalties. So, Camden Luca has been very clean today on the racecraft side, and also the penalty side as well. So, again, 2 stuff to look out for there. He does, again, he has the advantage there. Even if Steve does get by, Steve is really going to have to work up a good gap against him if he wants any shot of getting ahead of Camden Luca and winning this Grand Prix. So 5 laps to go in this Hungarian Grand Prix, and Telecal working up a good gap around 8 seconds over Camden Luca. And he's on those medium tires, and he is still keeping that gap. It's not increasing or decreasing, just staying the same. Ishney fastest lap, and now never mind, hijinks. Camden Luca exceeding the track limits, 3-second penalty added on his time total. So we head to the final couple of laps in this Grand Prix. The question for Camden Luca to win this Grand Prix starting to fall down very, very slowly as the gap between Camden Luca and Telecal is starting to close on in very quickly. Last lap, it was 8 seconds. This time by, it most likely will be 7 seconds. They will not have enough time, though. I think Telecal is going to have to try and stay out if he wants any shot of winning this Grand Prix. But Cam is working up a good gap and is now trying to get by the lap car of John in front of him. So going defensive is Camden Luca against Steve, getting ever so closely to the back end. Gap is now back to 7.5 seconds. So there must be something wrong with Camden Luca. If not, should be pushing on through. But again, trying to hang on. The battle should be about to happen. So, wheel to wheel, they should be next lap. But my question is, how much longer can Camden Luca hang on? We have 4 laps to go. We're going to ride on board with Steve. And again, hitting the apex. Again, now it's back to 8 seconds. Despite Camden Luca being on the super soft tires and Telecal on the mediums, that gap is actually increasing. So Telecal, he's really outperformed the car. He shouldn't even be in the race lead. And so far, he's put up a good gap. It's now 8.5 seconds. And now Steve's got to try and look down to the inside. Puts up the block. These cars are too wide to do something like that. He finds just enough room to squeeze on through on the outside. However, Camden Luca's going to run wide. Steve may have the inside, but no, cannot do it. So now he's going to be behind him. He may try the outside, but if not, down the straight, DRS available for Steve. He may try the inside. That's what he's going to do. Going defensive, Camden Luca may try the outside. Blocking down, now go to the inside. Goes Steve. He grabs second place. So again, late thinking, moving under the brakes is Camden Luca. Not sure what he was thinking. That could have been a catastrophe between the two. But now Steve, now he can work through the grid. And Telecal now has a good shot of winning this thing. Both of these guys have penalties, by the way. The top 4, 5... Top 5 have penalties. Cam, I don't think Cam has penalties, to be honest. But again, something I find ironic... Hold on a second. There's a position change between Carl and Seafreeze. I think they just organized themselves to be battling back in 12th and 13th. So again, nice to see these two battling each other. So down the straight, there goes Seafreeze for 12th place. So he'll easily grab that. Seafreeze has most of the time been in 13th, a lap down in this whole entire Grand Prix. Finally not in last anymore. But a 3-second penalty for Rob 2K. Will be riding on board with Telecal. Coming to 2 laps ago as Carl's going to let by Telecal. Now they're going to head into turn number 1, the hairpin. Telecal looks like Seafreeze. What are you doing, Seafreeze? Come on, let him by. There you go. Lets him on by easily there. Camden Luca falling on back. I'm not sure where George went, by the way. Did he disconnect? Yeah, it looks like he disconnected. I never even saw that he left the session. Finally, he gives us a press release. Looks like George said his wheel broke. And a 3-second penalty for Telecal. Could this cost him the race? We will see. 2 laps ago, or 1.5, depending how you think of this. So, as you can see, going through the S's now is Steve. But Telecal, he'll be coming to the final lap this time by. In America, they will be saying the white flag. But for us, we'll be saying the final lap of today's Hungarian Grand Prix. Brought to you by PSR on my channel. Again, if you want to see any further commentary, we'll be commentating in 2 hours' time, TCR tonight. But Telecal is going to be crossing the line. 1 lap to go in today's Hungarian Grand Prix. Final lap presented to the Red Bull driver of Telecal. The gap is now 7.5 seconds. So Steve, he is... I'm not sure what he's doing. I mean, I thought that gap would be a lot smaller, but he's only worked up around 5 tenths. So, not something he wanted to see. But it's not working out in his favor either. But again, we have the final lap brought to us. So, we have the final lap today. And Telecal's done a phenomenal job. I don't want to go through the penalties. We'll see who wins this Grand Prix. So, Telecal and Steve, the gap between them is now around... It's now 8.5. Never mind, I thought it was 6.5. My math was bad, or I just can't see. But we're on the final sector now for the final time. Telecal put on a good show today. He is making the one stop possible. So is Camden Luca. He'll be getting a podium as well. Looks like the one stop was the winning strategy as we head through the final couples of corners. Cam back in 6th place. Far off the pace. Good point stay for Telecal through the final corner. Redemption presents itself to the Red Bull driver. Telecal wins the Hungarian Grand Prix. And he puts on a good show for the fans. It's now 9 seconds. Steve will be crossing the line to finish P2 in today's race. And across the line, it is actually, wow, 100th of a second. Due to penalty, Steve wins by. Camden Luca gets 3rd place. That is the closest finish ever in PSR history. Not side by side, but it is by 100th of a second due to penalties. I cannot believe my eyes. Looks like Rob 2K needs to finish this thing. Cam has been promoted to 5th place. So he beats Ishne by 1.5 seconds. So 25 versus 10 points, 15-point advantage. So 21 minus 15. That is a difference of 6 points in the championship. So we will present you our podium finishers today. On first, finishing 100th ahead of Steve. Today is Telecal. Second is Steve. Third is going to be Camden Luca. So our podium finishes today in the Hungarian Grand Prix. Telecal stands on top for the 2nd time this season. Not a new time winner, but again, a new winner in the Hungarian Grand Prix. Telecal does it today as he stands on the top against Steve and Camden Luca. And it looks like the one stop was the way to win this race for Telecal. Prevailed in the lead for the final 10 laps, and the one stop really paid off and did huge dividends to the Red Bull driver. So Telecal is your winner today by only just let me get this straight, 100th 1/100th of a second. Yes, 1/100th of a second. And I'm not sure why. I mean, the gap between Telecal and Steve was 9 seconds, and Steve had 1 extra penalty, but that was 1/100th of a second. So we'll be taking that one. Take the race replay. That should do it for today's Hungarian Grand Prix. My name is Alan Cavagner. I'll be seeing you guys in 2 hours' time for Trinity Competitive Racing for their round tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. Thank you, everybody, so much for tuning in. My name is Alan Cavagner. I'll see you guys in 2 hours' time. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching. My name is Alan Cavagner. Have a safe night, and peace.